Hey guys, welcome back. Christian Stylez back for another video. And before we get into this video, because I'm sure you guys already know what it's going to be about because you guys have read the title and you saw the thumbnail. But before we get into such a deep topic, I just want to say thank you for 700 subscribers. We're going to try to get to 1,000 before summertime, at least, maybe July. We can do it, we can do it, we can do it. So before this video even starts, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because you know it's going to hit because it's me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, hit all so you guys get notified every time I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get into the topic. This is going to be a fun one, guys. Alrighty, guys. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story, and that's how we're going to start this off. So, here's the thing. I don't want this to seem as if I am attacking anybody or coming off harsh. I am very harsh, and I understand that. I'm super mean most times. But it's because I just can't stand stupid. I can't. I can't do it. And so, ignorance is just not something I think is cute. And so when people, not knowingly, obviously, say ignorant things that end up being offensive, not only to me, but an entire community of people, what is soon to be half the planet, if it isn't already, I think I just have to take a stand for it, not only just for me, because I'm personally affected by it or offended, but for the entire community. I believe that it is my responsibility to speak up against some of these things. And so this afternoon I had a conversation with somebody that I know of that I went to high school with. And I had made a comment of sexual nature, towards her. And it was basically a compliment, what I was saying, but her response was so ass backwards. And the reason why I say that is because, I have gotten responses that really make me think like, oh, okay, so they just really don't know or they don't pay attention. But for someone that has followed me for years now, I've been out of high school, what, 6, 7 years? You've followed me ever since then, and you know exactly what I do, and you know who I'm married to, and you know I have children, and you know that how I live my life because it's Instagram, it's a highlight reel. You see everything that I do, everybody I'm talking to, all of those things. And then you say something that is just so stupid and ignorant, and I just wasn't gonna stand for it. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So here's the thing. When I made that comment, she came back and she said, "I thought you were fluid." The gay flag and the question mark. First of all, you worded that incorrectly. Fluid could mean a number of things. Fluid could mean sexually fluid, which is 2024. Who the fuck is not sexually fluid? Like that's ignorant all in itself because lots of people are sexually fluid these days. Or did you mean or did you mean like you know? No, I can't say that because she obviously didn't. Because once I explained it to her, she didn't get it. Okay, so in any case, I looked at that question and I thought to myself, I'm like, clearly she doesn't pay attention. And that was my first thing, like, she clearly doesn't know. And so I was like, I can respond to this one of two ways. I could either educate her on the matter or I could snap. Now, a lot of my time in the past. I have just snapped because I don't have the time for the foolishness. I just don't have time for it. And I don't really give people the benefit of the doubt when they say and do stupid crap. Like, I just don't have time for it. And something in me said, you know what, let me just address this nicely. And so I told her, I said, this might be a common situation, but are you aware that sexual orientation and gender identity are two different things? Because I don't believe that people understand that they are not mutually exclusive. Like, they don't get in bed together. They are not the same. And if she's ignorant to that fact, I bet you 100,000 of you that watch these videos are too. That follow me, 700 of you are probably just as clueless to this fact. And the fact of the matter is, if you don't know anybody that you're in close quarters with, and you don't have anybody to really teach you these things, you're not going to know. So I cannot expect everyone to be taught these things, or everybody to know. We live in a broad world, but not everybody goes outside. Not everybody turns on the TV. Not everybody is willing to see what is clearly going on around us. You know, everybody wants to talk about the gay agenda. No, there's no gay agenda. There's just more of the LGBTQIA plus content coming forward with Disney and everybody else, because they're trying to validate the fact that we exist. It has nothing to do with trying to turn people's children and blah blah blah. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just the fact that we've always been here, we'll always be here. We never went anywhere, we're not going anywhere, and so everybody just ought to just get used to it. And so the heteronormative stuff gets shoved down all of our throats. And I'm not saying that as a we, as a they, or a them, because, like I said, gender identity and sexual orientation are two very different things. Now, me personally, I've never been with anybody but women. And so people, when they hear that, they go, wow, so you can do what you do and still lay with a woman? Yes, it's about what gets you sexually stimulated. It's about what turns you on. If the idea of a man doesn't turn me on, there's no sense in pretending. I know that I look fish, and I know I'm a bad bitch, but that does not mean that I'm attracted to that. You understand what I'm saying? So, my outer appearance may look like one thing, just like Dolly Parton says, don't judge a book by the cover, because I'm a real good book. And she comes off artificial and fake and, you know, like a hooker. She dresses like a hooker. But deep down, she's the sweetest person you'd ever meet. And that song, Backwoods Barbie, that's basically what it's about. It's just her idea of glam is why she looks the way she looks. And she modeled her look after the town tramp because she thought that she was the most beautiful woman she had ever seen. And somebody said, oh, she ain't nothing but trash. And Dolly said, well, that's what I want to be when I grow up, trash. And so, you know, people need to really understand that human beings are multidimensional. And so it's 2024, and for you to not know the plus half of LGBTQIA plus, it seems as if we're just adding letters to it at this point. But there are so many avenues and different things, and everybody that's in the LGBTQIA plus is not the L, the G, the B, or the T, or the A, or the I. You know, sometimes you're not any of those things. You're in the plus category. And so people think when they say, you know, you're a part of the alphabet mafia, that you're one of those 5, 6 letters. No, there's a plus for a reason. Because it goes into more detail and it's more descriptive. Okay, so right now I have a wife that makes fun of me and calls what I do drag and blah 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 and makes fun of me, but she's the one who slept with me for 6 years. You know, she disrespects me on a regular day-to-day basis and commits a hate crime all the time towards me, as if I'm supposed to give a fuck, because who's the dumb one? Because you slept with me and had a child with me. Like, you know, you're not hurting me. You're the one that looks like an idiot. So my thing is, I want people to be able to educate themselves on these matters. Because what I told her, I said, first of all, I don't want you to encounter the wrong person and you offend them in some way that you didn't even realize because you're so ignorant to what's going on in this world. And had you not been approached and corrected by me, somebody would have really hurt your feelings. And the fact of the matter is, I decided to handle it like an adult and just explain to her that the difference between gender identity and sexual orientation. Now, everybody should know what sexual orientation is. That's straight, gay, bi, poly, you know, all of those actual, when we're talking about a female and a male and what they're attracted to, that's what they're sexually attracted to. That's sexual orientation. Gender identity is something very different. It's what someone feels on the inside. So if now I'm going to use my own as an example to maybe kind of get you guys to understand. So my category can be a multitude of things. And I think this is where it kind of gets confusing for a lot of people. And that's why I didn't want to address this in a negative way towards her, because I could understand that she may not understand these things fully. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to break it down for you guys. And I'll even pull up actual definitions if I have to. So for me, I'm a non-binary person. So what is the binary? Let me break that down for you. The binary is male and female. Those are the binary. Non is a prefix. What do you put non in front of? What does non usually mean? N-O-N. It's a prefix that means what? No. That's the root word in non, is no. Okay? This is basic comprehension. This is hooked on phonics. Stay with me. So if the root word is no in non and you put them together, non-binary, what does that mean? Not binary. That means not male nor female. If male and female is binary, then that means that non-binary is not male nor female. It means that that person identifies as themselves. Does that make sense? And I'll give you another example. So when I was working at Wawa many years ago, I was one of the head managers, and somebody walked in. She was, you know, new, and I didn't hire her. I didn't know where she came from. She came, she was working on my shift, and, you know, everybody had known me, and they were like, oh, that's Christian, whatever. Christian usually smells really good or whatever. Like, you're really going to like Christian. He's one of the best managers, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them just called me by my name because some days I would be in glam and some days I wouldn't be. And so to not confuse people, because I don't let people call me Mr. or Miss, I never let that happen. I think it's the most disrespectful thing to me. And that is why you need to get to know that person to understand what they prefer to be called. Like even at Amazon, I'm Professor Stylez. I am not Mr. or Mrs. anything. I am Professor Stylez, Instructor Stylez, whatever it is. But there is never a prefix to the name that either means male or female. And Mr. and Mrs., one identifies with male and one identifies with female, so I don't get called either. It's very simple. I just get called by my name. This is not a very difficult concept, but anyways, back to my story. So, she had come to me one day and she was like, I was just wondering, what do I call you? Bitch, what? And so I looked at her, I for real looked at her up and down. I look at her up and down. And I said, what the fuck does that mean? And she goes, She go, oh, I didn't mean to offend you. I just was one. What do you hear everybody else calling me? And she goes, by your name. I said, okay, figure it out. And I just walked away. And I don't feel bad about that to this day because sometimes you do have to use context clues. Like, are you that stupid that you can't figure that out? So after that, the young lady, she kind of was like, oh, well, don't feel bad. Like, that's just how he is. Don't take it no type of way. Um, he did that to me when I first got here too, but trust me, it's nothing personal. He's one of the best people here. It's fine. And later, she did come and apologize to me and, kind of explain, like, her history and whatnot. I wasn't willing to hear all that. I didn't really give a shit. But at least she tried to fix the situation. And with the situation that happened today, after I explained the difference to her, um, I did make the comment, I said, beauty is forever. And beauty fades and stupid is forever. And so I'm guessing she didn't like that comment. But it was within a large paragraph of me, explaining, um, how disrespectful it was to me. And she goes, well, ignorance is bliss. Have a gorgeous day. So you're okay with being ignorant. You're okay with being mediocre. You're okay with being an idiot. What world are we living in? Anyways, so I literally was just like, all right, well, that didn't go as planned. But I said, that is inspiration for me to go ahead and make a video. And so I was already doing my hair, so I just said, let me just go ahead and whoop de whoop de whoop, put my face on and go film a video. And now I'm filming the video. But I thought that I had made this clear a long time ago, and maybe my own subscribers and my own followers know this, so I don't have to really break this down for you guys. But just anybody else in the world that is not understanding this principle, I think that it is a very good thing for it to get discussed. So somebody can be somebody can be a masculine presenting woman and like men. That does exist. My mom is one of those women. You can be a tomboy and be married to a man. You can be a tom girl and be married to a woman. How you present gender identity, how you express yourself gender identity, the way that you speak, act, move, gender identity, the clothes that you decide to wear, gender expression that goes hand in hand with gender identity, has nothing to do with what gets you aroused, what makes your pussy squirt, what makes you nut. They're two very, very different things. And I just want you guys to get out of this frame of mind where you guys don't understand this simple concept. It's 2024 and there's resources everywhere. If you want to know the difference between these terms, and I think a lot of people also get non-binary people, gender fluid people, gender non-conforming people, like me, confused with transgendered people. And so when they see non-binary people and they see a gender non-conforming person or they see a gender fluid person, and to be honest, they really all mean the same thing. There's just little small nuances that make them different, but they're really all the same thing, really. They take our group of people and they mix them in with transgender people. We are not transgender people. And we are not drag queens. Drag queens are performers. Drag queens perform. They sing, they act, they dance, they create costumes. They're wonderful people. But they are performers. We are people We are not performers. We don't do this for money. We don't do this as a living, as a job. There's a difference. Our name is our name. It's not a drag name, it's our name. No stage name involved. So stop comparing non binary people and gender fluid and gender non conforming people and all those people to drag queens and trans people. A transgender is somebody who felt like from the beginning they were in the wrong body. And so they transition into that gender. Now, for non-binary people and gender non-conforming and gender fluid people, the way we see gender is different for every individual. It's not the same for every person. And I want to make that explicitly clear. And that's why it's very important for you to ask. Because for me personally, pronouns don't really matter to me. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're nobody that I even care about, I don't really care what you call me in that moment because we're not friends. You're nobody to me, so I don't really care. But my thing is, a lot of people do care, and a lot of people do find that to be offensive. And, you know, even when I was at Amazon, there was this girl that was a sibling to one of my coworkers, and I didn't realize that they were siblings, and I had said something really mean about the girl. Like, she kept looking at me, and she, you know, was making me uncomfortable, and I thought she was just a weird-ass bitch. I was just like, what is this bitch doing? She's always looking at me. Okay, fine. But my thing is, I didn't realize that she had been siblings with that other girl. And so she was like, you know that's my sibling. And I'm like, that's your sister? And she was like, sibling. They go by they, them. That's not a she, it's a they. And I said, well, my God. And she was like, well, aren't you non-binary too? And I'm like, yes, but again, not different non-binary people go by different protocols because I don't care that much about the pronouns. But she cared deeply. And I didn't really care. You know, it didn't change my outlook. It didn't even change my mind about what I said. I said what the fuck I said, and that was that. But my thing was, I have every right not to be looked at and stared at, and I just thought she was weird. Anyways, and I have every right to say that because that's my personal opinion. And so, here's the thing. I believe that's where part of the confusion comes in at, and that's why I didn't snap. Because I do understand how it can be super confusing. Now, just like everybody else in this world, gay, straight, not, it doesn't really matter. All of us are different from each other. So, the same way you would approach a random person that you would just seek a normal friendship with is the same way you should approach any of us, the people in the community, with the same amount of respect. Hey, what's your name? Where did you come from? Where did you grow up? And you let that person unravel those things. And if you still have questions, then you ask specific questions based on the things that you're wondering about. And 9 times out of 10, we have no problem sharing that with you. It's just the way you go about doing it. And so, I think the biggest misconception is that non-binary people are making it harder for trans people because it looks as if we don't know which one we want to be. We're ourselves. We are not male nor female. We don't care. When I wake up every day, I'm Christian. Whatever Christian want to do, Christian's gonna do. Whatever Christian want to put on, Christian gonna put on. Whatever Christian want to eat, Christian gonna eat. Whatever if I want to go get my nails done, then I'm going to get them done. If I don't feel like it, then I'm not doing it. I live outside of society's boundaries and gender norms and society's stereotypes and what a man should be and what a woman should be. I am who Christian is and wants to be and will continue to be, and that's period. I am not here for anybody's approval. I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion about what I do and how I do it and when I do it, and that's not my concern. I could care less what your opinion is of me. That's just me. I have one life, and I'm gonna live it the way that I fucking want to. And that's on period. I don't give a raccoon's behind what the next bitch gotta say. Because you don't wake up in my skin. You don't wake up in my struggle. You don't know how hard it is to be different. Now, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it is difficult to be me. You wouldn't want to change lives with me. And everything is different. Even though I'm a heteronormative male, or person rather, I still face challenges that other straight people don't go through. And I think the difference is non-binary people understand what's in between their legs. We understand genitalia, we understand the biology of our bodies. We're not trying to change that fact. That's the difference between trans people and us. I will go into the man's bathroom just like this. Wanna know why? Because I have a big ass dick, big old black stallion, honey, and some balls that hang low. So I'm gonna take my ass into the man's bathroom. Because at the end of the day, I am a male. Regardless of whether or not I am female presenting. I just do not identify as male or female. I don't identify as that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I am still male. Biologically, physically male with male DNA and genitalia. Did I make that clear? And that's the number one reason why pronouns don't matter to me. And let me get into that. Because when people call me a man or he or whatever, it doesn't bother me because that's what I am. And when people call me she, I can understand that too because that's how I'm presenting. Somebody that's feminine presenting, that doesn't make them a woman. That doesn't mean that they want to be a woman. Anybody can be feminine presenting, just like any woman can be masculine presenting. But see, here's the difference. That's the double standard because nobody talks about the females that are masculine presenting and nobody cares. Whole stud dude, shaved head, buzz cut, can walk into the female's bathroom with oversized clothes and sneakers and all fresh flyed out. Don't nobody gonna say shit to them. Because at the end of the day, they got pressed down titties underneath that big ass shirt. Okay? They maybe wear their strap all day, maybe they don't. I know a few people that do, which makes no sense to me, because I got the real thing, honey. But in any case, I know people that do. But see, that's the double standard. Not to say that I won't walk into the woman's bathroom, because I do all the time, whether I'm in glam or whether I'm not, because sometimes it'd be cleaner in there, and I'd be going in there regardless, and I don't care. I don't care what the next bitch say, whether I'm in glam or not. If the man's bathroom is dirty, I'm going my ass in the ladies' room. Period. We all pee the same color and don't give a damn. But my thing is, I think that we really need to get past whatever this is that our whole community is facing, and these laws that are being passed that keep us from healthcare and whatever. I mean, this is not supposed to be a political video, and I'm not getting into all that, but what I'm saying is, we are just people. There is nothing different about me or anybody else in the community simply because we live our lives differently. We live our lives more freely, and that should never be a problem. That should be praised. It should be celebrated. That we don't allow this social construct of gender and gender roles and gender um, normalities and all of the stereotypical stuff that a female does and a male does, and because we live outside of that and don't allow society to put us in a box and tell us what we can and cannot do, say, wear, live, that should be celebrated. It shouldn't be something that we ought to shun from, because I don't, and I never will. And that's on period. But the bottom line is, ask questions. Never assume anything. Don't. Because you're going to assume, and you're going to really piss somebody off. Because this is a very deeply personal situation and thing to people. They don't play about this kind of stuff. So be very careful what you assume about anybody for any reason. It is safer to ask than assume. Because at least when you're asking, you're trying to get it right. If you assume, you make an ass out of me and you. So anyways, I'm going to say it again. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. Share with your friends so that everyone gets educated on this matter. If you have any questions about anything that I said, if you disagree with anything that I said, you can put it in the comment section down below, and I may as well make a part 2 if you guys disagree. Or if you guys have more questions about me specifically and or my journey, please hit me up on Instagram at Christian Stylez, or put it in the comment section down below, and I will gladly answer all of those questions. Just keep them respectful, because I will cuss you out. But however, put them in the comment section down below. And if you just want to be supportive, if you just want to see you understand, or if you have a story or something that you experienced as well, that you want to let me know about, go ahead and put it in the comments. I would love to read it. And hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, hit all, so you guys get notified every time I upload a new video. And as I always say, guys, stay perfectly imperfect. Let me say that again. Stay perfectly imperfect. Because none of us are perfect, guys. We all make mistakes. Until I see you guys next time. Bye, guys.